So if you can believe it, it's been 7 years since I started the Redline Reviews YouTube channel way back in May of 2012. And as you guys also know, in this industry in general, you constantly have to make changes if you want to stay relevant. Just like cars, if they start to get old, YouTube channels can also do the same thing, which is why I've tried to make changes to the Redline channel over the years, which I hope I've done a good job with changing the way that we film things, change the way we actually shoot and produce the videos. But with all that said, a lot of you have been asking me to introduce an actual rating scale for each of the vehicles I review. And honestly, it's something that I've been contemplating for years. However, I wanted it to be uniquely Redline. I didn't want to copy Doug DeMuro with his Doug score or Alex on Autos with his letter grades where he talks about the ride and the handling. Or I definitely don't want to be copying Scotty Kilmore with his ridiculous, endless money pit comments that you guys like to leave in the comment section of the videos, especially for the German cars. But just know that I take all of your comments into consideration when I do make changes to the channel. So with all that said, let's talk about the new Redline rating scale, which I'm going to be cleverly calling RPM rating. Now, RPM, as you guys may or may not know, stands for Redline Productions Media, or basically the name of my company or the YouTube channel. And I'm going to divide out the RPM rating into 7 subject grades. They're actually going to be coming from the Redline acronym. So if you spell out Redline, each of the letters in Redline is going to stand for something where I talk about the subject grade of the vehicle. It's going to be based on a 1 to 10 scale. So if there's 7 different grades, the maximum points you can get is 70 points. Now, of course, the grade is going to be slightly different. I'm going to group them into specific categories. For example, this Ranger pickup truck will be in a category with other trucks like the Toyota Tacoma, the Honda Ridgeline, the Chevrolet Colorado, and etc. and stuff like that. So we're not going to be comparing a Ranger to like a Porsche Cayman or something like that. That would just be absolutely stupid, and you have to keep things consistent. Now, what does the actual Redline acronym stand for? Now, if you guys are going to look at Redline and spell it out, the R in Redline is going to stand for real world usage. As you guys know, vehicles are built and designed for specific uses. So a truck like this, I'm going to be talking about how real world usage it is actually with carrying stuff in the bed, taking it off road, driving it around town, going to and from work. So I'm going to be giving a scale rating based on 1 to 10 on real world usage. Now the E in Redline, the first E is going to stand for efficiency. As you guys know, fuel efficiency, range efficiency is a big thing nowadays, especially with electric cars and their range. Gas cars also, they need to get better gas mileage. So E is going to stand for efficiency. The D in Redline is going to stand for desirability, because as you guys know, when you're looking for a new car, you want something that's new, something that feels like is worth the money you're paying for it, and you want to talk about how desirable it is. So we're going to be talking about how much the gotta have it factor is for that vehicle. And I'm going to be giving it a rating scale 1 to 10. Now, the L in Redline, that's going to stand for longevity. Now, that's also going to be, in unison with reliability and build quality. And it's something that I always haven't really talked about in videos, especially with Scotty Kilmore now with his endless money pits and how German cars or American cars are just expensive and how everybody should buy a Toyota. Longevity is something that you really can't predict, and it's unfair to judge a vehicle based on its past history, especially when it's an all-new design. But I'm going to try my best to be fair in terms of rating the longevity. So obviously, if I've got something like a McLaren, it's probably not going to have the best longevity rating because the people who buy that kind of a car, they're going to replace it before the warranty is up. But then there are some, vehicles like Audis, for example, actually surprisingly have decent reliability. So we're going to talk about the longevity, and we're going to give it a score. Now, the I in Redline is going to stand for innovation. With any new product or a product that's been on the market for a few years, what features, what new technologies has the manufacturer introduced that's going to wow me and of course wow the consumer? Because of course cars are getting damn expensive. So if you're going to be spending that kind of money on a car, you want to know how innovative this new vehicle is and how much new technology it has. Because some of you, actually most of you, that's a very important aspect. Technology runs our life. Cars are quickly becoming computers. They're becoming like our phones. Now the N in Redline is going to stand for need for speed, and I'm kind of going to group this into performance, fun to drive. Everybody loves a fast car. You guys love my reactions when I'm giggling like a little girl when I'm driving something that's super fast. So even though some cars are not going to be faster than others, I'm going to base its need for speed rating on the actual segment. So example, this Ranger, it's a lot faster than most of the gas competition. I would give this a higher rating than I would for something like a Toyota Tacoma because it just feels a lot more sluggish when you put your foot down. And finally, the last E is going to stand for evaluation, which I'm going to group into value. Value for money. How much does this thing cost and where does it fit into the segment in terms of the value? There are some vehicles that offer tremendous value. The Kia Telluride, the Hyundai Palisade come to mind. For 45 grand, you get a vehicle that feels like, you know, double the price. And then of course there are vehicles that are very overpriced. A lot of Porsche vehicles, you're going to be spending an amount of money and you essentially get a car that's very basic, bare bones, unless you start ticking option boxes that quickly double the price. So of course the final score is going to be evaluation. You add it all together, you're going to get a score that's going to be based out of 70. And of course, I'm going to categorize everything in a list on an Excel spreadsheet so we can start comparing each car and I can better determine which ones I think are the best and the worst of the segment. And it's something that you guys have been asking me to do. So hopefully it all plays out and works out well. And I'm going to start adding the rating scale on all of the new Redline review vehicles that we're going to be testing, especially all the new stuff. So be sure to keep an eye out for when I do start adding the RPM rating to all of the latest Redline reviews videos. As you guys know, changes do take a little bit of time, but it's something that I've been wanting to do, so be prepared for a lot of changes to the channel. I'm also going to be adding 4K videos probably by the end of this year. I'm in the process of upgrading a lot of the camera equipment. It's 2 years old, and as you guys know with camera equipment, it's not cheap, but there's always new stuff that's coming out. So camera equipment's going to be upgraded, and I also just upgraded the mic, so we shouldn't be having any more of those audio issues. Unfortunately, filming is never perfect. You always run into some kind of stupid issue, which is why you always have to have a backup plan. But with all that said, hopefully you guys understand the new RPM rating scale. And if you don't, feel free to leave a comment below if you think I need to make a little bit of tweaks or if you didn't quite understand anything. But with all that said, I really appreciate you guys for sticking with us throughout these years. We couldn't be where we are today with over 640,000 subscribers. I'm hoping to get to 1 million subscribers by the end of next year. So be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and then subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click that notification bell if you guys aren't getting notified all the time, because I do get comments sometimes that you guys don't always get a notification when I do upload a new video. So make sure you guys ring that notification bell so you're keeping up to date with all the latest videos that we post on the channel. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.